Coming up on ELN Morning, talk of snow is swirling around and we have everything you need to know from temperatures to street plowing.
A new sports team joined the ranks of Elon's athletes this week. We'll tell you who they are coming up.
And we have mime artist David Elzy live in the studio to show us some of his tricks.
Thanks for waking up with us, Elon. ELN Morning starts right now.
Good morning, Elon, and thanks for joining us for the first ELN morning of the semester. I'm Matt Lee.
And I'm Jasmine Turner. You may have seen the snowfall yesterday afternoon, but it's not quite done yet. Our Gary Grumbach is live in downtown Elon with this week's Phoenix 5-day forecast. Gary.
Well, sometimes the weather, you don't always know what's happening, but I'm sure if you go out there, you know how cold it is. I was walking over here and I was scared to death.
It was pretty cold. And the snow yesterday didn't really make it a lot better.
No, but I thought it was going to stick, and it didn't, so that was good news for me, because when my hair gets wet, I don't even know what's happening anymore.
When your hair gets wet, I don't even want to talk about mine.
Well, sometimes I have to be the diva, too, you know? I mean, if you don't know the diva, I don't know the diva. You know, a lot of people think morning show people are divas, but they're really not.
We work pretty hard.
I saw Jasmine working out the other day. She was running up the stairs and down the stairs.
In my heels, may I add. But now we're going to move away from snow and into this week's Crimewatch.
Last night, Elon Local News brought you an update on the court case of Alexis Gray, the woman who is accused of coming to Elon last fall to confront and possibly harm her ex-boyfriend, Greg Silagi. According to federal court documents, the sippy cup in Gray's car containing a note on how to commit and clean up a murder will be suppressed because Elon campus police obtained it illegally. Gray's attorney argued that in court, the campus police searched the sippy cup, a closed container, without a warrant, violating the Fourth Amendment. Gray faces a federal charge for crossing state lines to commit violence against a dating partner. Her trial is scheduled to begin March 31st in Greensboro.
And a former Elon student is preparing to go to court tomorrow. Jeremy Jacob, a former Elon senior, currently faces 2 charges of second-degree sexual offense. According to a Town of Elon police report, an Elon student says she was sexually assaulted on the night of January 18th at Jacob's house on Atkinson Avenue. The police report says the victim came forward 2 days after the incident on January 20th. Jacobs is currently free on $40,000 bail. And we spoke to Jacob's lawyer, and he confirmed that Jacob is pleading not guilty to both charges. Jacob will be in court tomorrow to determine if there is a probable cause to go forward with the case. Be sure to stick with Elon Local News as we continue to follow both of these stories.
And now our Carly Hilliard is live in the studio with news from around the nation. Carly?
Good morning, Matt. Now we begin today with an update on the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare. Now, if you're a graduating senior like me, you might be looking into working for a small to mid-sized business next year, but you may have to pay for your own health insurance. The White House announced yesterday that mid-sized businesses now have an extra year before they need to offer health insurance to full-time employees. Businesses that employ between 50 and 100 people now have a 2016 deadline. This is the second delay on the Affordable Care Act in the past year, when the deadline for all small and mid-sized businesses was pushed to January 2015. And businesses with fewer than 50 people are exempt from this policy. Now, back home at Elon, spring semester means many education majors are now student teaching. And if they plan on staying in North Carolina after graduation, the traditionally low salaries for teachers could be looking up. Governor Pat McCrory announced his plan to raise teachers' starting salaries by more than 13% over the next 2 years, from an average of just above $30,000 to $35,000. Increases will apply to the teachers hired in the next 2 years, not teachers who have already begun their careers. And finally, it was announced this morning that Hollywood darling Shirley Temple Black passed away last night at the age of 85. Her publicist confirmed the actress's death. Black was best known for singing and dancing her way into the spotlight in the 1930s as a child. After ending her acting career, she became a Republican Party fundraiser, as well as the United States ambassador to Czechoslovakia and Ghana. Now, those are some stories we're following across the state and nation today. Matt and Jasmine, back to you.
Thanks, Carly. And now let's head on over to McKinnon, where our Atoria Mills is live. Atoria, what's the atmosphere like over there right now?
We apologize for some technical difficulties, but it looks like Gary's outside with the weather. He can tell you a lot more than I could this morning. Let's go to Gary, see what the weather's like.
A chilly good morning to you. I'm bundled up today, and ELN students, if you're venturing out into the cold, you should be too. With a high of 34, the name of the game is layers. It's 28 right now, but with the wind, it feels like 25 degrees. If the bio bus is an option for you, I would definitely suggest taking advantage of that. It's going to be cloudy but dry all day today, but tomorrow the real fun begins. Snow, snow, snow. This is expected to be a serious storm, folks. Over the next 48 hours, 4 to 8 inches of snow are expected, with higher accumulations in higher elevations. The rest of the work week will not be much of a thaw out, with temperatures only reaching the high in 30s and 40s Thursday and Friday. This weekend's looking brighter and warmer, with temperatures in the low 50s. That's all I've got for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Now back to you, Matt and Jasmine.
Coming up on ELN Morning, while some students spent their winter terms away from campus, some were arriving for the very first time.
And later, we show you how to make a tasty Valentine's dinner dish without emptying your wallet.
While most students are returning to ELN for the spring semester, some students are arriving for their very first time. Our Sarah Russell has more on this story.
Choosing a college can be a difficult process, and sometimes it doesn't work out.
Up at Northeastern, it was really a big party school, and I didn't really like that. And I also had some allergic reactions to like drugs people were smoking on campus.
Isaac Torios decided to transfer, and ELN was a perfect fit.
And you know, I came out and visited the campus, and it just felt like a real academic establishment. You know, everybody wasn't here to party. You can tell people are here to learn, and that was really important to me.
He says events like college coffee make ELN stand out.
I absolutely love the way they do all the traditions and stuff here. You know, up at Northeastern, we had our fight song for the hockey games and stuff. But other than that, there weren't really any real traditions.
The semester is just beginning, and Torios is settling in easily.
I've really enjoyed my time here so far. I mean, I've only been here a week, but I feel like I've been here my whole life.
And for other transfer students, the inclusive atmosphere at ELN made a huge difference.
I really like the smaller class sizes. I had at least 2 or 3 classes last semester that had 250 people, and that was just a little overwhelming.
Freshman Allison Symes transferred from UNC Charlotte and is looking forward to getting involved on campus.
UNC Charlotte really only had one Habitat for Humanity, and I was involved with that, but they really didn't have much other ones.
Director of Transfer and Special Admissions, Caitlin Schultz, advises new students to be involved as much as possible.
But I think the biggest struggle that I see is socially, just trying to figure out where to go to fit in.
Symes hopes to take advantage of the new opportunity she has at ELN to get more involved.
I'm not a huge singer, but I do like to sing a lot, so I'm definitely interested in that, and that's something Charlotte definitely didn't have.
Both Symes and Torios are glad that they decided to make the move to ELN, and they are excited for the semester to unfold. Sarah Russell, ELN Local News.
ELN accepts students in the fall and spring. According to the admissions department, the amount of transfer students for the 2013-2014 year has not been released yet, but last year a total of 92 students transferred to ELN.
And while some students just arrived at ELN for the first time, others are just getting back after spending time away from campus. Our Alex Rose found a group of students who are using their experiences away from ELN to help other students.
Identity, culture shock, embracing independence. These are just a handful of issues students can face while traveling abroad.
Being in a place where you're not comfortable with anything, you really see who you really are.
This winter term, students who have studied abroad had the opportunity to share their experiences by writing a book.
It not only goes with the materialistic and the pretty surface level things to prepare yourself for going abroad or coming back, but it also goes into deep personal analysis.
When Professor Tom Arcaro introduced the class, it was a little hard for students to accept.
He told us we were going to write a book. We were like, wow, it's pretty heavy.
But Arcaro used teaching techniques that helped get the creative juices flowing.
In a typical class, you're assigned papers to write. But in this class, students wrote blog posts about their personal experiences, some of which ended up in the book.
72% of Elon students study abroad before graduating, so the class agreed on the importance of analyzing their life-changing experiences.
This is the reflection that students need when they come back.
And the students aren't the only contributors. The foreword was written by Byron Pitts, a former 60 Minutes correspondent who visited Elon last year. Students in the class used social media to grab Pitts' attention, hoping to put their book on the national stage.
When we found that out, we were just like, gosh, I can't believe that Twitter blast worked.
So 3 weeks and 175 pages later, Desks to Destinations is finally ready to be published and is still making the students reflect on their personal experiences.
What was that part of us that we feel like we were missing? Was it our identity? Was it being in an American bubble? Taking all that and bringing it back and putting it into something that was tangible really, sparked the interest in us.
Alex Rose, Elon Local News.
The book will be available on Amazon by this weekend, and all the proceeds will go to a need-based scholarship for study abroad.
Coming up on ELN Morning, history was made this weekend when a new sports team stepped onto the field. Find out more next on ELN Morning. I want to know what this team is.
To our Eric Halpern, who has a little bit about what's going on with the weather to be expected in the next couple of days. Eric? Well, it seems like we have a few technical difficulties going on, but nothing we can't handle. And moving on, we're talking now about spring semester and how it has just started. But if you're still shopping around for textbooks, Elon Local News' Eric Goodnow has a few tips to help you save this semester.
Spring semester is kicking into gear and students are starting classes. One popular destination is the campus bookstore. But before you head to downtown Elon to purchase your books, you might want to look into some other ways to avoid burning a hole in your wallet. First, there's nothing worse than spending money on a book and then turns out the teacher doesn't even use it. So take advantage of the library. This is usually the cheapest option. Head over to Belk and see if your textbook is there. Second, the bookstore isn't the only option for students. Sites like Chegg, Amazon, and Skyo are all great options for buying cheap textbooks. Another option is buying ebooks. These are usually cheaper than buying a hard copy, and you can download them directly to your computer. You'll also eliminate the extra weight in your backpack. And finally, something that both online stores and the bookstore have in common is that you can use them to rent your textbooks. You can keep the book for the semester and then send it back. This way, you can get the book for less than half the price of a new one. Looking out for the college consumer, I'm Eric Goodnow, Elon Local News.
After months of preparation, a new Division I team stepped onto the field to play its first game. Our Justin Beagle was at their practice to introduce us to the team before their big game.
This spring marks the beginning of a new era for Elon Athletics as the women's lacrosse team prepares for its first season. The university announced the addition of the program back in 2012, and 2 years later, the players are finally ready to take the field.
I think we're all really excited because we've worked so hard for this moment.
I'm honestly so excited. There's a little bit of butterflies, but I'm just honestly so excited.
There are 25 players on the team, 2 seniors, 2 sophomores, and 21 freshmen. But head coach Josh Hexter says having so many young players won't be a problem.
They're quick and fast and athletic, and they just love to compete. And you can't ask for anything more than that out of anybody, regardless of what class they're in.
Even though it's only their first season, the Phoenix have high expectations.
I think we set the bar pretty high for ourselves. And we don't have a reputation, so we wanted to make a good one.
We just want to compete, and that is true no matter who we play. We try to make it all about us. I'm hoping that we give a good fight and that we're really competitive, and really we just want to go from there.
Hexter thinks highly of the team and is excited to see what they can bring to the field.
They've been great. They've been unbelievable. They work really hard. They're fun. We laugh a lot out here, which is great. And I rarely have to get into them about working hard. So that makes practice really fun.
Justin Beagle, Elon Local News.
Elon ended up losing to Duke 25-4. Their next game is this Friday against Longwood University at 4 p.m. at Elon. So we got to support them.
Yeah, we should go see. I think it's pretty awesome, though, that they have this brand new sports team that some of the club girls got a chance to try out for the team as well, is what I heard. So.
Definitely, and I played lacrosse once, and I was just not very coordinated at it. So for them to be able to start this sport and take on Duke, that's impressive.
It is pretty impressive. And though Elon just added a new sports program, some traditions have been here for years. So let's head over and see if Atoria Mills is at College Coffee. All right, well, seems like Atoria's not at College Coffee, but we're going to keep heading over to a little bit of the rest of our show and see what we got going on.
We've got something that you may want to dance along to soon if you want
so
to
stay tuned.
Stay up here. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going straight to Welcome back to ELN Morning. Valentine's Day brings up thoughts of chocolates, flowers, and dinner dates. And with the big day coming up on Friday, you may be thinking of one or more of these things. Or you may be scrambling, just like me, to find something to do. Well, have no fear, because I've got 5 Valentine's Day romantic activities that you can do by yourself, with friends, or with someone special. This Friday at 8 p.m., the Greensboro Symphony Pops is performing with John Pizzarelli and Jessica Molosky. Tickets are only $15 for students. Pizzarelli is a jazz guitarist, and Molosky, his wife, is a singer and Broadway actress. The duo will sing American classics and Broadway hits at the Westover Church in Greensboro. Another unique option is the Biltmore Estate in Asheville. You can explore the largest private home and 8,000-acre land with day passes at just $39, the lowest price of the season. The tours are also offering free audio guides and a $10 discount if you book a tour 7 days in advance. But if you feel like staying on campus, there's plenty to do as usual. The women's tennis team is playing UNC Wilmington at 2 p.m., the baseball team is playing Cincinnati at 4 p.m., and the women's lacrosse team is playing Longwood University also at 4 p.m. like we saw earlier. But if sports aren't for you, then you could also attend the Department of Performing Arts' presentation of 1776, the musical, at 7:30 in McCrary Theater. And The Effect and the Women and Gender Studies students will put on the Vagina Monologues at 6:30 and again at 9 in Whitley Auditorium. And finally, if none of that sounds like a romantic night to you, then catch Smooth Regressions, playing a concert at 9 p.m. in Urazu. There are so many great options out there for you, so you don't have to settle for the dinner and movie. Find something new. You can even plan a combination of all these options and enjoy your day of love. And right now, from the art of cooking to the art of theater, our Evan McGilvray talked to one performer who does more than just make people laugh.
Jaeger Hall was filled with laughter Sunday night as Elon students gathered to watch mime artist David Elsie. But he didn't speak a word until...
I put my voice box in. First off, to say what a pleasure it is to be with you. And to let you know that mimes actually have voices.
For senior Dana Hedman, it was an eye-opening experience.
It was funny. It's interesting when you try to convey how you're feeling without being able to use words.
But Elsie isn't just an entertainer. He travels all over the world to speak, and a mime about world peace.
And so I do my mime to bring laughter and help people loosen up from a lot of the ways that they're thinking in the world today.
His goal? Inspiring others to change their views.
Positive relations in nations and even in communities. So I try to perform and inspire people to think differently about the world and about life, about humanity.
And Elsie believes that miming can touch everyone.
It'll transcend all languages, all spoken languages, and speaks to the heart in a lot of ways. The heart that's not based on a verbal language, the heart that is in everybody, Mime is very good at reaching that heart.
Evan McGillivray, Elon Local News.
Well, we have David Elsie live in the studio with us to talk a little bit more about miming and what all that means. So how did you get started?
I was it was 4th grade, and I saw Marcel Marceau perform. And Marcel Marceau is a world-class mime, really, of most of history. And I saw him, and I was just fascinated because he had 1,000 people in the audience, and it was silent. So there was 1,000 people being silent, and he would take space, because pantomime is about nonverbal communication. So he would take space on this huge stage, 1,000 people audience, and he would take about 3 inches, and he would just do this much. And think of 1,000 people being silent and being controlled by 3 inches worth of space. So I was fascinated as a boy and wanted to do it. So when I was 17, I studied and have been doing it as a career most of my life.
Wow. So where have you gone with miming?
All over, really. I've been in front of large audiences of youth in Moscow at a world conference, and I have been in front of Zen monks in Japan, and a lot of conferences around world peace and the ways that performing arts can bring people together around the world. Because silence and mime is a place that we all, well, mime being, when we're in silence together, we're not debating ideas and philosophies and religions and cultures. We're actually unified in this moment. So if I were, and the audience is watching us for 3 seconds, and everybody in the control room is going, wait, is the sound working? But we're all connected, right, for just that second. So there's a power in the silence. And so to me, mime has been utilized for a lot of conferences around the world to try to bring more peace and connection among people. Because in the heart, where we have emotions, we are all the same. You know, whether you are any religion, any culture, your tribe, or you're an advanced Japanese program designer of computers, you feel sadness and you feel anger and you feel longing if you're a parent for your child. So the mime can bring us all to that place, and in that place we're unified again. So.
Well, can you show us how to get to that place?
Teach
I
us
would
a
love to
little
get some,
Sure.
directions.
Yeah.
I'm too excited. Let's all stand up.
I'm ready.
Let's all stand up. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this. The first thing you have to do is you have to loosen up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. So
Yeah.
you really want to be loose, right? But make sure your hair is perfect. For
Yeah,
that.
I'll fix
It's
my
very
hair.
important.
Keep it.
Right. It's very good. A little bit of. Okay, right. I know you have to be feminine about it. So
Yes.
That way.
You good? All right.
Yes, I'm
good, so
ready.
we're loose. So let's say that there's something concrete in front of us. So this is stereotypical. Everyone believes that mimes do walls. So let's be conducive to that belief system. So to do a wall, so just do this flat first. Now, if I do this, the wall's not really being seen, right?
Right.
The reason is you have to actually be relaxed and then solid. So it's a tension and relaxation is a principle.
Oh, it's like I'm hitting a wall.
Now, when you touch the wall, you don't want to pull the wall back with you. You know, it's kind of weird walking around like walls like that. So you be there and pull back. One at a time. Don't jump ahead. One hand.
Oh, no.
Come on,
okay.
Matt.
One
terrible.
hand. All right, pull away. One hand. Pull away. One hand. Now do it without me. Go ahead so everyone can watch you guys. You guys are watching your news anchors do pantomime.
I think we're pretty good, right?
Yeah, do. Okay, both hands. 1, 2. Go higher. 3, 4. Don't be afraid of being strong when you land. 5, 6. Open up the window. Very nice. Wave to everybody at home, in their dorm rooms, and everywhere else. Bring it down. Fingers like this.
Don't let it show on your fingers.
I think it fell off.
I did. Lift it up. Bring it down by the glass so it's safer. And relax. Very nice. And you bow to everyone at home. Very nice. They just did their first mime performance. Very, very awesome. You guys do it again. I'm going to watch.
Okay.
You ready? You're going to hit the wall
First
6
we
times.
hit with one hand.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's good. Very nice. Good.
Oh, we're lifting it up now.
I got to say hi to Elon.
Talk. This is mine.
Yep. I dropped it a little bit.
We got a bow.
Oh, right.
Very nice. Bravo.
Wow.
Very nice. So that's mine.
Wow, that
Thanks.
was so
You
great.
know?
Thank you so much for joining us.
The only
Hopefully,
thing I'm going to finish by bringing this together and just doing this last little bit.
wow. I need to show my friends back at home. But that's all we have for you this morning. Hopefully you were joining us, and But we'll be right back here next week.
And in the meantime, be sure to check us out on social media, facebook.com/ELN Morning, and on Twitter @ELN Morning.
And for all the latest news throughout the week, be sure to visit our website, elonlocalnews.com.
And be sure to tune in to ELN Radio for all the news that matters to you from Elon and beyond. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. live on WSOE, the only alternative.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week at this time. Have a great week, Elon.